ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 Mundakopanishad. And just as a segue, we can see that the last few verses, 3-4 verses, have been with the Upanishad scolding the jivas, those jivas who are in the business of just pretending to know when they don't know, and pretending that life as usual. And what is life as usual? Technically speaking, the pursuit of the first three purusharthas. This is what we call life as usual. What are the first three purusharthas? Dharma, righteous life, and then artha, the pursuit of security, and then kama, the pursuit of various kinds of aesthetic, material, esoteric, etc. pleasures. So the first three purusharthas is where everybody is stuck until one is woken up. This is where everybody is stuck until one is woken up by some grace operating over time. So until that waking up happens, one is stuck in the first three purusharthas, and it if the word purushartha is kind of what is that making it a little distant and it is hard to understand, just consider this. First three purusharthas means what? One is always seeking a comfortable life. And a comfortable life means, they did a study. They put some cushions on the floor in a room. And then they put one couch, and the rest of it was floor seating or some not very comfortable chairs. And this was some kind of a group that was given to that was gathering in the room for meditation. So they did a little experiment, and they said, okay, the room used to have many more comfortable chairs, but they took out everything except one. And these meditators, these yogis, who were very, very calm generally, used to fight for that one overstuffed chair. They used to do all kinds of things. And then day after day, week after week, they saw that they would come from they would open the window on the side if the room was locked, and then put a handkerchief or put their bag somewhere to reserve the chair. And everybody wanted couch. Nobody wanted to sit on the floor because that is ouch, not couch. And so this way, sea is silent, okay? So this way, this is exactly what I'm trying to illustrate here. That in any given situation, one makes a beeline for all kinds of comfortable and comforting situations, and the half the life is gone in that. What about the other half of the life? Keeping at bay uncomfortable situations, keeping at bay conflict, Everybody generally is conflict averse. Very few people will just go and pick up a fight just for the fun of it. I haven't picked up a fight in a long time. Let me try and see what it's like. Very few people. In fact, people kind of backpedal from conflict. They want to avoid, if anybody is ready to pick up a fight, they just want to go away slowly, back off slowly, and make a mental note to self. Okay, let me not go near them anymore. And so we avoid conflict. People avoid conflict generally. People avoid any kind of strife. And unless one is, in a bad mood, one avoids arguments because it's uncomfortable. One avoids dealing with people that make one uncomfortable, and one avoids situations that are uncomfortable. Difficult situations, physically difficult situations, who will like? Nobody will like. And then half of the life is gone in that. And then the pursuit of keeping, so half of the life is avoiding uncomfortable situation, and the other half of the life is pursuing comfortable situations, seeking out comfortable situations. And comfort here, there is no better comfort than security. In fact, the pursuit of security trumps happiness, really. Because that which makes one secure makes one happy, really. And it's like that security is very important. And so that security and comfort are somehow dovetailing in the mind, in the heart, in the pursuit itself. And so one is business as usual means one is focused on the first three purusharthas. In fact, nobody wants to follow the first purushartha, namely dharma. Who wants to follow dharma? Nobody. But you want other people to follow dharma, and that's why you are forced to follow dharma, because only when other people follow dharma you get your comfortable situation of people opening doors for you and offering you an umbrella if it is raining and being kind to you. All these things you can't get without being kind to other people as well, because you can't write down all these rules in society. Most societies operate on as many unwritten rules as there are laws. And so, therefore, this becomes like a hidden matrix of norms that is activated because you want a comfortable life. You see, dharma is also connected with a comfortable life. And then, even after life, if you have done a lot of punya and collected, good karma, then you go to all these places which the Upanishad talked about. Brahmaloka, sit and gaze at Brahmaji. Oh, this is what you look like. Oh, wonderful. Then after 5 minutes, you get restless. And then you come back. That's all it is. And so the business as usual is just the first three purusharthas, and the Upanishad in the last section and the beginning of this section has done a great khandanam, an elaborate critique of the life that is given to comfort and security. Security, pleasure, comfort, life, and what are its problems, what are its fallacies have been brought out. How was it brought out? By showing you that whatever karma phala you get is finite. You can go to heaven, but not with an immigration papers, not with your immigration papers. No, but what if I fall in love with Menaka? She's a heavenly nymph and she sponsors me. She also cannot sponsor. Why can't she sponsor? Because she herself is on a temporary visa. She herself is not some kind of a person who is able to sponsor you, because she has no leg to stand on there. That's why she's dancing all the time. She's the heavenly nymph, but she's also there for a little while. So you cannot get any kind of marital visa wrong, or even even Gandharvas, Yakshas. No, you can't do that. And so the force that takes you to places in the afterlife, such as heaven, etc., etc., is what? is that from which you have to return. Vapas aa gaya. Kaun? Jiva. Jiva has come back. An inglorious return, mind you. And then this is what the Upanishad pointed out, that the raft made of karma phala, tacked in with a few ropes of Shraddha, is not. Shraddha means here for the first portion of the Veda, meaning I can get my karma phala, I can get my desires met. That Shraddha is not enough to traverse the murky and dangerous waters of samsara. The tsunami infested, undercurrent infested waters of samsara, you cannot travel with the few logs of karma phala. Why are they logs? Because you have logged in some punya, that's why. So the few logs of karma phala, you cannot absolutely travel in this shark infested, tsunami infested waters, dangerous waters of samsara. Because that raft is going to fall apart. Was also pointed out. Then, undeterred, people keep building new rafts because they think they know. They think they know everything. You try to teach Vedanta to people in India, they'll say, oh, I already know. What do you know? Oh, that nobody gets moksha. Somebody actually told me this. What do you know about Vedanta? And elderly gentleman, he said, I know everything. I said, okay, tell me one thing you know. And he said, well, nobody gets moksha, so what's the point of even talking about it? And this is what it is. And so the whole karma phala addiction has dulled the desire for knowledge. The addiction to the results of karma have absolutely dulled the desires, dulled the mind to desire the knowledge. And if you talk like this, saying moksha you'll never get, that is based on the assumption it's away from you. And here, what are we saying? It is already you. It has to be uncovered. It has to be discovered. But here are people who go around thinking that they know. And not only do they think that they know, that's half the problem. The other half the problem is they are busy convincing others that there is no other life than this. Keep on doing this, keep on pursuing this, and then so what if you have another life, and then you'll do this all over again, and who cares, who knows, doesn't matter. Keep doing this, keep pursuing the comfortable, what you think is comfortable. Keep away all the things that you don't think are comfortable. And this is how to lead the life. And even if you have to maim a few people along the way to get what you want, that's okay, no problem. Just say a quick prayer after you have offed them, and that's all. You do a little prayashtita, and then you give a little dhanam, and then this is how you take care of it. And so the Upanishad has pointed out a really an appalling way of life. And if that doesn't wake us up, I don't know what will really. It's like a strong cup of coffee in the morning on a cold wintry morning, and that is the power of these few verses. It has to wake one up. And this is where the Upanishad has done what is in psychological parlance called, the Upanishad has attempted an intervention. An intervention for the karma phala holic, for the samsara holic, for the one who is addicted to samsara. The Upanishad has done a loving but thorough intervention. And now, after intervention, what? You have to check yourself into rehab. That's the only thing that's left. And usually in a familial intervention, or when the friends come and then sit around you and then read you what they have noticed, how they have noticed your downward decline, they will tell you this is what an intervention is. They will all sit around, and the person thinks, oh, there is a get together, there is a party or something. It's a party, all right, but it's a party to stop partying. That's the kind of party here. And then so they tell you that you are not you are not you're not able to handle yourself. You do not know the hurts that you are inflicting on your loved ones. And they will come with specific examples so that you cannot run away from that. And then they will say, we are here to help you, we love you, and we want you to get better. And then what? We have already collected the money or found out whatever you have in your insurance and booked a place for you far away from here. Here is your ticket. Here the Uber is or whatever is coming, or the another friend is waiting. I don't think we should trust people with Uber in this situation. So another friend is waiting to take you to the airport and to take you or wherever, to take you to the rehab facility, and the car is waiting outside. And so that is, that is what is the culmination of a successful intervention. The person hangs the head and understands, okay, maybe I'm not seeing the whole thing, but I'm understanding one thing, that I have given a lot of grief to my loved ones and I need to change my ways, and this is the only way of changing the ways. Because the person will argue, no, I can give up alcohol. I can give up substance abuse. Why? Because I've already given up alcohol 10 times. So 11th time also I can give up. The person will argue like this, useless, foolish arguments. But then the person is overpowered by reason. This is actually a cognitive, and both a cognitive and a heartfelt thing. They're overpowered by the love and by the reason. And there is only one way. There is only through this disciplined living in this, changing your ways, going to this place where you are away from the familial and the familiar surroundings, which is making you default into this kind of a habit. You have to be away. And then this is the verse that we are about to study. Very important verse is the successful culmination, is what constitutes a successful culmination of the Upanishad's intervention into the life of the one addicted to action and result of action. This is the culmination. So let us read that right now. Hang on, where did it go? You're able to see this? Yes? Okay. परीक्ष्य लोकान् कर्मचितान् ब्राह्मणः निर्वेदम् आयात् नास्ति अकृतः कृतेन तद्विज्ञानार्थं स गुरुमेव अभिगच्छेत् समित्पाणिः श्रोत्रियं ब्रह्मनिष्ठम्. This is the Vakya. Very, very important verse, and needless to say, we will be here for some time. Parikshya lokan karmachitan brahmanaha. So let us look at the grammar here. And so brahmanaha, the subject of the sentence is brahmanaha. So the brahmana, and what that means we will see presently. So lokan parikshya. Loka means lokyate iti lokaha, that which is experienced. And then also through which something is experienced, lokyate anena iti lokaha. So both of those we can take. So lokaha means lokan means fields of experience. Pariksha, we have the word pariksha, which means exams in India. Everybody is scared of pariksha. So pariksha here means again examination. Parikshya, the Brahmana, whatever that means, whoever that is, means here the qualified person, the person for whom this intervention has succeeded. That is the Brahmana. We'll see how that is a little later. Lokan parikshya, having examined the various worlds, fields of experience. And what kind of worlds? The worlds are all karma chitan lokan. So the karma chitan is adjectival to lokan. So Brahmana karma chitan lokan parikshya nirvedam ayat. This is one sub sentence in the verse. So Brahmana, if you want to put it in prose, karmachitan lokan parikshya nirvedam ayat. A Brahmana gains nirveda. We'll see what that. Ayat means gains or gets to the place of nirveda, vairagya. Nirveda, how, having examined the world of, which is karmachitan. Ching, Jagane, second conjugation, which means to collect. Karma chitan means collected by karma. So all the worlds that are the result of karma, the result of the collected karma, whose? Yours, whose else? Your individual karma and also samashti karma. So Lokan Parikshya, having understood or having examined the worlds which are the result of karma, those worlds which are the result of karma, Nirvedam Ayat, gains dispassion. And here Nirveda means a certain kind of an apathy, really, bordering on a mild disgust. This is where one should be. So, with regard to business as usual that we talked about earlier, this is where one should be. A mild disgust. In fact, I think in one of the Vedanta texts, it is said that the person's dispassion, how should the vairagya look like? The vairagya should look like your attitude towards bird droppings, crow droppings. So, kakavishta means crow excreta. So when you are walking under a tree and you get the bird dropping on the shoulder, even if you are going somewhere, even if you are late, first thing you do is find a source of water, try to wash it off, change your clothes, go back home, change your clothes. You can't. You have a disgust towards that. And so nirveda here means a dispassion bordering on disgust. So this is the first sentence. So Brahmana karmachitan lokan parikshya nirvedam ayat. The ayat here is hidden, the takara is hidden in the sandhi because ayat plus nasti, ayan nasti. So ayat, that's where we break the sentence, one sentence is there. And then he or she gains a certain dispassion bordering on disgust. What is this dispassion based on? Then the next sub-sentence here, nasti akritaha kritena. That is another sub-sentence. Nasti akritaha kritena. Kritena means by that which is done, and then the word that is missing is karmana. We should have another word in apposition to kritena. Kritena karmana. By the actions that are performed, akritaha nasti. By the actions that are performed, you cannot gain or is not there. Nasti, better translation, is not there. What is not there? Akritaha, the uncreated, is not there in the form of the result of created karma. The created karma and your dabbling in the created karma all the time does not produce the uncreated, because the uncreated is not that which is akshara. Uncreated is not a product. The indeclinable, uncreated, that which you are in search of, that limitlessness that you seek in the works, you are not in touch with. and that you want, you will never gain through your actions, because it is a physical impossibility to produce the limitless when the actor is finite, the actions are finite, and the results of the action triply finite. And so that is the second sentence. Okay, so this much if you have understood, let us go to the next line. So therefore what? There is a tasmat hidden. Therefore is hidden. It is not there, but we have to understand it and supply it for our understanding. Tasmat, therefore, tat vijnanartham. See, kritena karmana, from karma there is a jump. That's why this jump is in the second line. Tad vijnanartham. Therefore, to understand that, what is that? Nasti akritaha kritena iti. To understand that the performed karma does not fructify into a result that is infinite. The infinite cannot be had by finite karma is what is tat. Tad aksharam also we can take. That which does not come to an end, that which does not decline, that which is the same in all times, that sat, that tat, that is what is tat. So that cannot be gained by karma. And then how else am I gaining it? Because if it is away from me, then I need karma. So if karma cannot produce it, that means what? That means two things. One is A, it must not be a product. The limitless cannot be a product. How can it be a product? It is not a product. And B, it's not a product. And then it has to include me if it is there. You cannot say, I want the limitless that is out there. And here it is, I want to look at the limitless. You cannot look at the limitless. How can you look at the limitless? It is not something that you can look at. It is not there as an object of sight. It is not there, it is you. It is not an object, it is you. It is you, the truth, the content of the subject. So there is nothing to look here. And so therefore, and there's nothing to do, there is nothing to look, there is nothing to gain. It must include you. It's already you. And therefore the jump, the quantum leap from doing to knowing. So we are in the realm of vijnana. Vijnana means well ascertained and well assimilated knowledge. So in order to understand this, tad vijnanartham, saha, who is this saha? Brahmana. This person who was indicated by the word Brahmana earlier, what should this person do? Gurum eva abhigachet. May this person seek the teacher. And then there is evakara. Eva means what? Only seek the teacher. No other option available. Eva. Oh, can I get this? Can I get this by standing on one leg? No. If you stand on one leg, the other leg becomes strong. That's all. And then you can kick karma, and then if you kick somebody, then you will be kicked in turn, and it will be life as usual again. So it will not work. Can I meditate my way out of this situation? No, because meditation is also manasam karma. Can I do lots of yajna and get a place where nobody can tell me to leave? No, that also you cannot do. Even by yajna, you cannot reserve that limitlessness, which is really you, because yajna finite. It has a starting time and an ending time. And even if you do yajnas all the day, still there is a finite number. What about if I give dhanam? That also is a finite number. Even the richest person in the world has a has a finite number, and then that's how they are considered the richest person, because they have a few dollars, a few $1,000,000 more than the previous person. That's all. Then the next person in line. That's what it is. So tad vijnanartham saha brahmana gurumeva abhigachet. Meaning there is no other option. And then the rest of the sentence is how to approach the Guru. Samit panihi. Samit panihi means with a few sticks in hand. Oh, to beat up the Guru and threaten the Guru? No, no, no. These are small sticks. These are little twigs in hand, a twig bundle in hand. A twig bundle is called Samit. And this is only if the Guru is a grihastha, not if the Guru is a sannyasi. If the Guru happens to be a householder, then the Guru will have to do every day Nitya Karma, Agnihotra, etc. And then you take as a present some sticks. It's better than a bunch of flowers, I tell you, because sticks are used, the sticks have to be gathered. The sticks for the yajna have to be painstakingly gathered from the forest floor. You're not allowed to cut, you're not allowed to do anything. So you painstakingly gather the sticks, and then that saves the Guru from gathering the sticks. And the Guru might look at you and say, oh, looks young, looks strong, and maybe they can study and fetch sticks every day. That is the idea. You are in service. By taking the stick bundle, you show that you are ready to do anything, even the painstaking job of gathering twigs for the yajna regularly from the forest floor. So Samit Panihi sa Gurumeva Abhigachet. The Samit is a metaphor for seva, seva bhava, for an attitude of service. It's not like, oh, the Guru, I am entitled to what the Guru says. I am entitled to this knowledge. Okay, so what? I'm entitled to this knowledge, and so therefore I have to, the Guru has to leave everything, drop everything, and come and teach me. No, the Guru is not obliged to do that at all. The Guru first has to be convinced that you are worthy of teaching. And how does the Guru know that you are worthy of teaching? If you are able to look past that sense of entitlement and say that, okay, I am ready to serve, I'm ready to do anything for the sake of this knowledge, that is when the Guru decides that you are ready to study. So that's why to show the readiness for study is through the attitude of seva, and that's why it is Samit Panihi. Then what? Then the next two words describe they are in apposition to Guru. Gurum, and then Shrotriyam, and then Brahmanishtham. The Upanishad wants you to find the proper Guru. The Upanishad does not want you to go to some kind of a self-styled God man, God woman who says, I got this knowledge apne aap, I got everything all by myself, and then I am God. And what did you say? What knowledge have you got? I am God, but you are not. That is the knowledge. And this is, and so therefore you need to just sit and fawn over me, and this is not the kind of Guru you should find. Sometimes what happens, you see, there is a big problem in Guru hunting and in Guru seeking. Why? Who is seeking? The ignorant one is seeking. The ignorant one with a patina of all kinds of patterns is the one that is seeking. So the ignorant one is the one that is seeking, and the ignorant one has an overlay of all kinds of patterns, has mother issues, father issues, authority issues. And then therefore what? Wants the Guru to have a 9 to 5 job and then teach a little bit, on the way to the office or on the way back, something like that. Some people, only will go for such Gurus. They will, because there is too much authority issues. They want the Guru to be like a friend, somebody they can relate to, somebody who's just like them. Sometimes The person cannot go to a male guru because of severe father issues, abuse, neglect, maybe the person who had some physical beatings, etc. All these things. Sometimes it's like the people are put off of female gurus because of certain other reasons, mother issues, etc. That's why in the tradition we have gurus with animal heads so that all these authority issues can be bypassed. Hayagriva, you know, and Haya means horse, horse's head. And then again in the Brihadaranyaka the sage Dadhichi taught the Ashwin Kumaras, the assistants to Lord Dhanvantari, and he taught them wearing having worn a horse's head. So the followers of that parampara can definitively say we got the knowledge from the horse's mouth. Maybe that's how the expression came, we don't know. But so there is all kinds of teachers. In the Chandogya Upanishad and in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, a lion is a teacher. A stork, a blue heron is the teacher. Like this, there is all kinds of teachers so that one doesn't have to be stuck in all these issues. And if you read Datta Charitra, Dattatraya's life story, and he will credit 24 teachers, starting with insects and trees and bushes and everything from where he learned. So therefore, so that because the seeking itself is vilified because of one's own patterns and issues, psychological issues, the unconscious, the power of the unconscious acting against oneself. So therefore, there is a big act of self-sabotage in the guru seeking itself. One seeks somebody to be comforted and comfortable with. In some respects, one seeks the father one never had, one seeks the mother one never had, and that doesn't work because the teacher is not here to babysit you. The teacher is not here to babysit the jiva. The teacher is here to teach. And so, unless that inner split between the child and the adult is not resolved, this is what the seeking will take one to the wrong guru. Wrong guru means we have to put guru within inverted commas. There is no wrong guru, but the person who parades as a guru without being a, and who is probably wanting to give you instant vairagya from your possessions by saying money is the root of all difficulties, all evil. And so therefore what? So therefore immediately give everything you own to me, and then you are freed. Then you are totally freed, no problem at all. You can be free. This is exactly how they will teach. So yeah, I know a person who kept going to this teacher, two people actually, and they kept going to this teacher somewhere in the east, China or Taiwan or something, and then all online, never met. Maybe they had met once before or once or twice, and the teacher said, I am these are the exact words, downloading important information for you, but somewhere the download is stuck, it is not coming through. And so what should I do? $25,000. $25,000, please give, and the download will be complete because your karma is stopping it. It's not me. I'm not stopping the quote unquote download of useful information and useful things for you. And your own karma is in the way. So $25,000 will take care of it. One person was completely bereft of all their savings because unfortunately they were caught in a very vulnerable situation after a loss of a loved one, and so fell prey to these kinds of unscrupulous people parading as teachers. In Atlanta itself, there was a case of this person wanting to do costly yajnas, whether one needed it or not. And now that fellow, thanks to some very good Samaritans in the Indian community, is behind bars. Behind bars, totally. So, like this, may the jiva not go in search of these kinds of people, and may the jiva not be completely flummoxed and taken advantage of. May the vulnerable jiva who is just fledging the wings and leaving the nest of this samsara and daring to try out the wings, may they not come under the influence of an unscrupulous bird catcher parading to be a guru. And so, therefore, the Upanishad gives two wonderful terms. What are the terms? Shrotriya and Brahmanishtha. Oh, but it says Shrotriyam. Yeah, that's because the Guru is the object here. Gurum gachet abhigachet. May one approach the teacher. So the teacher is the object of the sentence, and so these two are also objects. Shrotriyam gurum abhigachet. Brahmanishtham gurum abhigachet. These are the qualifications, the two qualifications of the teacher. It's a very nice change because one is hit on the head with qualifications of the student. Shama, Dhamma, Uparati, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhanam. And wait, did you forget Mumukshutvam? And hey, what about Viveka, Vairagya? And you have to test how much Viveka you have, how much Vairagya you have, etc., etc., etc. What are you doing? And then one is hit on the head with, do seva, do this, do that. It's just the whole Vedanta is student oriented. It is not guru oriented, it is you oriented. It is oriented towards the seeker who is the jiva. It's not at all oriented towards the guru or towards anything else. Meaning, if you don't get the knowledge, it's not the guru's fault. You must have been lacking something somewhere. This is what Vedanta will say. And so here, it's a nice change to see two adjectives being applied to the guru. Two kinds of, what is that called? Two kinds of conditions, qualifications. The first one, and not accidentally put there first, is Shrotriya. Shrotriya means the one who has listened. Listened means what? Listened to his wife or her husband? Who? No, no, no. Shrotriya means the one who has listened to the Shastra from a sound parampara that does not distort the message of the Upanishads. Oh, so my teacher must be the one who has attended one or two Vedanta classes. No. The word Shrotriya is not a kadachit kaha, means an occasional listener once a year on New Year's Day I study Vedanta. No. People do that. People come to the ashram, Gurukulam in Arsha Vidya, they come. New Year's Day is very, very important for them to get that 15-minute message, 10-minute message from all the teachers teaching there. They consider that to be the manna of Vedanta. And the rest of the year gone, they are very busy, they don't have the time to attend. So that is not Shrotriya. Shrotriya is also not a drop-in Vedantin. Kabhi, sometimes I get the idea of that Vedanta might be nice. Like on a rainy day, you think of some nice fried fritters, pakodas and chai come to mind on a rainy day. And so here, on a sad, gloomy, rainy day inside the heart, Vedanta comes to mind. No. Shrotriya is the one who has spent a minimum, okay, not a maximum, minimum of 12 years in deep study with the teacher, in deep association with the teacher. And that is still the beginning. That doesn't even cut it, but that's the minimum requirement to be called a Shrotriya. 12 years you have spent with the teacher, and then, serving the teacher, studying from the teacher. 12 years when you spend, then you have a right to call yourself a Shrotriya. Because in this time you have inherited the treasure trove of knowledge along with the pedagogies deployed to give it to another person. You cannot give the knowledge to another person until and unless you have been transformed by it. Just like if you want to be a therapist, you have to undergo therapy. You cannot say, I'm emotionally very healthy, I just want to help others. No, you have to undergo, depending on the state that you live in, a certain amount of hours of therapy in order to be qualified as a therapist. Same thing here. In order to counsel others on this very important life-changing transition from samsara to Vedanta, you yourself should have crossed the samsara. You cannot say, I have come, already crossed, I have dropped from the sky. No, that will not do. So the first thing is Shrotriya. And then if you just say, oh, I have gone to this self-styled God man and spent, or God woman, and spent 12 years, that will not do either. That's why we say a sound parampara that does not distort the words of the Upanishad. And people do this all the time. Like there is a sentence which we have studied in the Chandogya Shruti, which says, Sa Atma Tattvamasi. Atma, long A, and then Tattvamasi. Very clean. That Atma you are. Sa Atma, this Atma is Brahman Tat. And that is what you are. Very clean. You don't have to go anywhere to parse it. But some people, they use the grammar as a weapon to bring out their own meaning there. And this is Dvaita Mata. Dvaita means that the people who refuse to see that Bhagavan and I are one. The I and Bhagavan are one. And this is the message of the Upanishad. They contest. Why? Because in their idea of Bhagavan is unreachable and is always different from the Jiva. It's a subjective projection. Yeah, it's a subjective projection. Okay. Yeah, so this is what is the subjective projection, and so this is this is where the whole thing happens, and that's why we have to be very, very clear what the term Shrotriya means. Shrotriya means that where the knowledge which has been received is free of these kinds of subjective projections. Bhagavan is big and I can never be Bhagavan, all these things. If the teacher has not internalized that, they will not teach that to the student. So how do they say Atma Tattvamasi? How do they change it? This Atma, long A, Atattvamasi. You are not that. Arre? If I am not that, I mean, I don't have to come to you to study for 12 years in order to know I am not that. That was already my original capital. That is why I have sorrow. That is why I have pain. I don't have to come to you to sit for 12 years and then at the end of the study, what did I find out? I am different from Bhagavan. The Jagat is different from Bhagavan. I am different from the Jagat. I am different from other jivas. Naturally has to be depressing. So what is the use of this kind of a study if it doesn't transform? So Shrotriya is the one who has gone to the Advaita Parampara and been transformed by that. They have gone through the pain and what is, I think, in common parlance called the dark night of the soul, etc., etc. They have gone through the pain. They have gone through this, and then this is basically what the thing is. They have completely gone away from that. And then what? Then they are ready to share this knowledge. They are blessed by the teacher to help others to share this knowledge. That is what is a Shrotriya, who is standing on the shoulders of several thousand teachers and knows that I'm walking on these teachers are carrying me forward. I'm not alone. I'm not manufacturing this knowledge. Very, very important. So this is what is Shrotriya, the definition of Shrotriya. Then what is Brahmanishtha? This is, Brahmani Nishtha Asya Asti. That is so that is Brahmanishtha. Nishtha means Nitaram Sthitihi Nishtha. Ni plus Stha. Nishtha. And so, stha to stay. So, the staying power here in the form Nitaram Sthitihi means a committed lifestyle. A life that is totally given over to Brahman and nothing else other than Brahman. This is what is called Brahmanishtha. Means the person who has Jnana-nishtha, who doesn't have Jnanam, but who has, may not have Jnanam fully, but not only has Jnanam, but Jnana-nishtha. So, now it doesn't just have Jnanam, but Jnana-nishtha. Is able to teach and has the knowledge, but also abides in the knowledge 24/7, 365 without any vagueness, doubts, or error. Such a person is called Brahmanishtha. And we see around us so many saints who are like that, who have been like that. Starting with our Pujya Swamiji. Brahmanishtha definitely applies to the gurus of his caliber. So Brahmanishtha means what? This is very difficult to ascertain. Why? Because there is not a badge that the person wears. In a company, the person, wears let's say a tag, security. You go to the gate and then there is a person who has a uniform and who has a embroidered, little tag which says security. So then if there is any problem, if somebody is not leaving your office, you call that person and say, please make them leave. Security. And then there is all this, there's all these badges that people wear. But nowhere you will find a badge called Brahmanishtha. Why? Because it is not something that can be advertised. But why can't I advertise it? Well, because if you are a Brahmanishtha, the definition of Brahmanishtha is the one who doesn't advertise that one is Brahmanishtha. That is the definition of Brahmanishtha. That being the definition of Brahmanishtha, you will not advertise that it is a Brahmanishtha. You will not advertise. You will not advertise at all. Because that is the first definition of Brahmanishtha, is that you will not say, because you see, there is a kind of a, what's the word for it? There is a kind of a dissonance in saying, hello, look at me, I have Atmajnanam, I have self-knowledge. There is a dissonance. There is a disharmony there. Why? Because the fact that you need to advertise it and you're looking around to see who is listening and who is noticing and who is going to give you respect, because now that everybody knows that you have advertised, you have self-knowledge, itself is problematic. Itself puts doubt on the fact whether you have self-knowledge or not. So nobody is going to advertise, I am Brahmanishtha, the one who is Brahmanishtha. So this is the first problem in discerning the Brahmanishtha. Oh, there are more problems? You bet. What is the next problem? The next problem is that the Brahmanishtha does not show any kinds of signs of being a Brahmanishtha. There is not a typical list of what is that called? Qualifications to be followed, as we see even in the Bhagavad Gita in Arjuna's question, how to recognize a jnani? How do they walk? How do they talk? How do they move? What do they eat? Supposing Lord Krishna had said that only the one who eats idli sambar is a jnani. A jnani can be discerned by his or her fondness for idli sambar, then we are in trouble. All the North Indian Mahatmas, the Puri Halwa fellows, are left out completely. And the jalebi people, the jalebi aficionados are left out completely. And so you cannot have any Bengali Mahatma as well, and you cannot have any Gujarati Mahatma as well, because you just, this is just focused on the 3-4 states in southern India where idli is rampant. Whether you want it or not, whether you like it or not, it shows up for breakfast every third day, and this is what it is. So you cannot, you cannot make these. So not only is it not self-advertised, it cannot be discerned. It cannot be discerned in how the person walks, moves, what the person wears, how the person talks, how the person presents themselves. It is not discernible. In fact, the Brahma Sutra says that the code of conduct for a jnani is to behave slightly dull in company of others. Just be quiet and don't talk too much. Oh, but they'll think I'm stupid. That's wonderful. Let them think you are stupid and they will leave you alone and you can just revel in Ishvara as yourself. They will leave you alone. You don't have to prove anything. Let them think you're slightly dull. Doesn't matter. This is exactly what is advocated as a presentation for the jnani. That makes matters of how to discern discern the Brahmanishtha very difficult, because you're not looking for the sharpest tool in the box. You're not looking for somebody who's charismatic, intellectually endowed, and then very sharp in the mind, belting off Upanishadic sentences. You're not looking for that. And so how are you going to discern? Then the third thing that makes the looking for the Brahmanishtha extremely difficult is that only another Brahmanishtha can find out whether a person is Brahmanishtha or not. One Brahmanishtha can recognize another Brahmanishtha, and the one who is not a Brahmanishtha cannot recognize the other Brahmanishtha. Cannot recognize. Why? Because you are mired in the Atma Ajnana. So how can you be judging somebody whether they have the knowledge or not? It's like the fourth grader telling Einstein, Shabash, I think you have done very well. And it makes no difference. It's useless, that kind of a praise or that kind of a judgment. It is not, that person doesn't have adequate qualifications themselves to make this call. So for those reasons, we go with the first definition, Shrotriya, because at least you can find out. You can Google the person, and please do Google the person. Google the person and find out who they have studied with and how much time they spent in studying. Because, you cannot really figure out if they are Brahmanishtha or not. And then the final reason why you cannot find out if somebody is a Brahmanishtha or not is that because it's an internal matter. How do you know if they are thinking of chocolate cake or Brahman all the time? How do you know where their mind is? How do you know where their mind is, where they are living mentally? Whether they are contemplating on chocolate cake or whether they are contemplating on Ishvara as themselves, how can you tell? The short answer, you cannot tell. Therefore, what? Ideally speaking, even though technically that definition is very wonderful, and it's a blessing to have a guru who is Shrotriya and Brahmanishtha at the same time, while looking for the teacher, I would add a caveat: don't go for looking for Brahmanishtha. Go for Shrotriya. You are at least in safe hands. The Shrotriya will never distort the Upanishads. The Shrotriya may say, with tears flowing down the face, yes, they say, I am Brahman. And you are also Brahman. We are all Brahman. It's just right now, Brahman is having a bad day. The Shrotriya may say like that. The Shrotriya may not talk in first person terms. Shrotriya may say, Upanishad says you are Brahman. Upanishad says I am Brahman. Still, because there is a little owning up left to do. But still, the Shrotriya will not distort you, will not distort your journey, will not take advantage of you. The Shrotriya will lead you properly. That is why, for our purposes, that is the definition that really, really matters. There's a lot more to say about this verse, about this mantra. We'll be here for some time. I think the next class will meet in January, because again, I'm getting ready for the winter, what is that called? Year-end retreat for Sailorsburg. So next week, after that, I'll be leaving. And so sometime in January, and I will let you know the dates. Please look at the website in early January to find out the new schedule. Thank you very much. Om Tat Sat. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you. Good night. Good morning, wherever you are.